my phone's cracked. Alright, but alright, Shalom.
We gotta put it on the charger.
Oh shit. Damn. Hold on. I don't have an external charger.
Alright, we just gotta go with it then.
Okay. Well, hold on.
It is at 30%. We'll just turn the brightness all the way down. There we go. Turn the brightness down a lot. Better. It's alright.
Okay.
Good. Brightness now should help.
Alright, but alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we get started, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of GMS, pushing this word day in and day out to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai. Today is May 9th, 2019, year of the Krabba, which means year of the mark. We got the title of this video is Don't Be Double-Minded. If John 3:16 is, whatever you had it on there, I can't read it.
If John 3:16 is talking about Israel, then John 17:9 is also. Alright, we can get those. Well, first you can get James 1:8. Or is it 1:9?
1:9.
It's 1:8.
Okay. This is James 1 verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right. And double-minded means you'll say this but do that, or you think this way but then for something else it's the opposite.
You're being a hypocrite.
Right, being a hypocrite. That's a good way to sum it up. So we'll get John 3:16 because people in the nation of Israel know that John 3:16 is talking about the Israelites, being the world. But then there's the same people that try to say John 17:9 is talking about the whole planet. Like Yahushua wasn't praying for the entire planet, when really Yahushua wasn't praying for the whole nation of Israel. He was only praying for the elect. Right? Because a lot of people in our nation of the circumcision, meaning that know they're Israelites, they don't want to accept the fact that 2/3 of our people ain't going to get it, and that it's only for the elect.
Yeah.
Right? And that we're completely justified to hate our people that are wicked and they don't want to get right.
Let me bring this up, so we'll go for that. This is John chapter 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Right?
So you're not supposed to, when it means double-minded, y'all are going off to how y'all want it to be. Alright, not the 100% truth. Y'all will hear something and then flip the Lord's words and be like, oh, what it means it's for everybody. Like, that's not what it means, man. That's why there's words that you don't understand. That's why you gotta go to the etymology of words, because you don't understand. Now look, you flip the Lord's word and you use the word that you didn't even know what it meant, and it could have meant the complete opposite of what you're talking about. So you can't, like you said, you can't be double-minded. You can't be a hypocrite with this, man. Either you get the 100% truth, or you just don't get it at all. There's no in-between maneuvering. There's nothing else to do with it.
I'm going to get this. This is John chapter, can you get John 17:9? This is John chapter 3 verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, which is Yahushua, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So Christians try to use that as meaning it's for everybody, but we know that it's only for Israel, right? And I'm talking about the people of the circumcision, not talking about the Christians, because we already have debunked that false doctrine. Right? Not even trying to sound, prideful with that, but Israel, every camp you look at, they've debunked that John 3:16 nonsense for the most part, most camps at least. All right.
We just watched a video of a brother break it down yesterday.
All right. So we know that's talking about Israel, but the thing is, you can't understand that that's talking about Israel, and John 17:9 is talking about the entire world when it's the same exact word in the Greek, right? Which is cosmos, which means an arrangement or an agreement, like the covenant basically with Israel, right? Because it'd be oikomene if it was talking about the entire world. All right, now let me get Isaiah 45:17 just for those that don't know what John 3:16 is talking about. This is Isaiah chapter 45 verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So Israel is the world without end, the world that's spoken about in John 3rd chapter the 16th verse. All right, now go ahead and get John 17:9.
I'm going to read down to 11. This is John chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
Which is the elect.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
I was
Same
saying-
thing?
Yeah, I was basically, and I was gonna say you can get it before I continue on.
That's the elect. Alright? The people that Yahweh Shai was given is the elect of the nation of Israel. That righteous branch.
This is verse 10. And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee, Holy Father. Keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are.
I'm going to get this.
Okay, go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 21 to 22. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish them which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. So, and instead of a great people, it's talking about the same people. Alright, so out of a whole cluster of grapes being the nation of Israel, he chose one grape, which is the elect. Alright, starting with the 144,000 men down to the 1/3 men, women, and children. Alright, but mainly the 144,000 who are going to be the governing body of the new world to come.
That's right.
Can you get Jeremiah 7:16?
This is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 16. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercessions to me, for I will not fear thee. Continue on.
No, that's it. It's straightforward. Yahweh was telling Jeremiah not to pray for this people, right? Because they don't want to hearken, they don't want to incline their ear to the words of Yahweh Shai. So we're not supposed to pray for them, all right? Because we're showing them nothing but love, but all they do is show us hate, whether that be with words or even physical actions. You know, wanting to put us to death. All right, there was somebody a while ago that wanted to put the apostles to death. He wanted to stone them.
That's right.
You know, he wanted to beat up GMS members. We're not GMS members, but just saying, people that are pushing that doctrine, man. We're putting a target on our back, and that target, Esau can come at us, but even our own people. All right, Yahweh Shai even said, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that kills the prophets. All right, a lot of our own people are the reasons why a lot of our prophets died.
See, y'all like to be told sweet things every 5 seconds. You think nothing can happen to you. You think that you're untouchable. Our people are very gullible. Very, very gullible. The so-called white man would tell you a whole giant lie, and you'll go with it. Then you have someone of your own kind tell you, hey man, this ain't the truth. Break it down, show you evidence on top of evidence, and then you want to, bash it and say that's bullshit, you niggas is crazy, or anything like that. And it's like, bro.
Basically, they're smooth to slide into false doctrines, especially if it's by our enemy, who they trust in with all their heart and soul. But when we bring them the true doctrine, they're stubborn and stiff-necked as all hell.
Right. That's why I say in Psalms 55 and 21, his voice is his mouth is smoother than butter, softer than oil, but more was in his heart. Simply paraphrasing, because the so-called white man will tell you that's why they build these churches, man. They think they give you some type of bullshit ass comfort that you can go to church and everything will be all right, but it's not. All right. You need to understand that the Lord Heavenly Father Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai are only dealing with the Israelites, all right, so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans, and no, not the people in Israel. All right. We're all scattered across the 4 corners of the earth. We're all different shades of skin tone, and honestly on that, yeah.
You get Romans 11:7 and 9. Should be a pretty quick lesson. It's just right to the point.
Sure.
This is Jeremiah chapter 11 verse 14. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Alright, so we're And that was the second. There's pretty sure there's like 3 times. Actually, get this. That Yahweh commanded Jeremiah not to pray for this people. This is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 11. Then said Yahweh unto me, pray not for this people, for their good. All right, and the reason we're not supposed to pray for the 2/3 in that sense is because they don't want to listen. The Lord isn't going to listen to them because they didn't listen to Him. Mm-hmm. You can't hold the double standard to that. You can't expect to not listen to the words of Yahweh Yahushua, but then expect them to hear you and listen to you when you're in trouble.
That's like having with your parents, like, oh, you've been cutting up all week, not listening to your parents. Now you're having them to say, oh, take me to the mall. And you think you're supposed to have them think that they're gonna listen and take you to the mall. No, nigga, you've been cutting up all week. Like, what makes you think that you've been not listening all week, and now you've been getting in trouble at school or whatever, and I'm supposed to, it's the weekend, now I'm supposed to take you to the mall. Like, you don't deserve that. That's using the example of how the Lord doesn't. You don't deserve the Lord to listen to you crying for help during these last days, man, because you didn't want to get right. So the Romans 11:7.
7 and 9.
Yeah.
Because all I just want to say is how great would it be if all of our people could be saved?
It'd be great.
But that's not what the Bible says. And we follow what the Bible says. You wanted the truth, so we're giving it to you. Right. Bitter and sweet, the whole ordeal.
We're not interpreting it. We're reading it verbatim. We're not adding other words. We're not mixing up the Lord's words. We're reading it verbatim. We're reading it what it says. All right. So don't say that we're being double-minded and we're switching up the Bible, because we're not. You people out here don't even read it. So how you gonna say, oh, we switching up the Bible? That doesn't make any sense. So this is Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for us. So like he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it.
So the elect obtained the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. Alright, which the 2/3 are going to be in the kingdom. They're going to be high exalted above the heathens. They're going to be members of the new covenant as well. But on this side, they have to be punished. Right. Alright, the sins, because King David talked about the blessedness of men whose transgression is forgiven, whose iniquities basically are wiped clean. Like they're put aside, and Yahweh is not going to judge them for that. The 2/3, that's not going to be the case for them. All of that is going to come upon them very soon, and they're going to be utterly destroyed.
I'll read it again. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
That's why our people can't get it. Because most of our people by now have heard this word, if not all of them. Alright? But they still don't get it. They're still not doing what we're doing, what other brothers are doing, because they're blinded. And they're going to be blinded until the kingdom. They're not going to come into this truth, man.
They're too busy worrying about sneakers and shoes and fucking a bitch and buying $1,000 worth of stuff. That's not going to get you into the kingdom, man. And you with that attitude, oh man, I'm just trying to live my life. You only live once, YOLO. That's a fucking lie.
They're not even worrying about the kingdom.
They're not worried about it.
A lot of them probably don't even believe in the kingdom or God at all.
And it's crazy. I have more respect for a funky ass Christian than someone who doesn't believe in shit. That's because where's the proof that there is no God? Y'all always want to say God is dead or God ain't around, because and then the ones who sit here and say they don't believe in God be the one calling on God all the time. Like, when they say oh God or oh Jesus, like oh God or oh Jesus, man, I almost got hit by that car. You calling on a God, aren't you?
They actually show you in the show Rick and Morty, which is a cartoon. You watched it, right? Yeah. Okay. So Rick Sanchez is regarded as the smartest man in the universe in that show, and he constantly, there's been episodes where he said there's no God, especially I'm pretty sure in the first season, but there was a point in time where his life was threatened, and he prayed to God because he was scared. And he said if there is a God, meaning he wasn't fully convinced in his mind that there was no God, because you can't prove that there isn't. There's no possible way you can do that.
Hey man, during Jacob's trouble, a lot of these people who don't believe in God, when shit starts hitting the fucking fan, they finna be getting on their knees. They gonna call on God. They gonna call on all these types of guys, man. Because y'all gonna call on something. Y'all gonna want some help. Some help. So y'all gonna be calling on something.
Y'all not know damn well you can't call on Albert Einstein, man.
Right. I know for a fact these people they're not finna just sit there like a stick and just let shit happen to them. Now they gonna call on something. You want me to get a 8 and 9 or just 9?
8 and
9. Romans chapter 11 verse 8. According as it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber eyes, that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Which is why you can break it down to them in a million different ways, they're still not going to get it. Which is why debates are foolish, alright? Because you're just wasting your time when you could have been spending that hour and a half debating with somebody that ain't supposed to get it, because you've already tried a few times. You could have been waking up the elect.
That's right. Verse 9. And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and stumbling block and a recompense unto them. And the Lord got stumbling blocks on y'all, man. This is why y'all don't get it.
And King David said, let that happen to them.
Right.
Because the 2/3 are wicked as all hell, man.
Right, y'all do so much wickedness and fault. Y'all don't deserve, you're not going to get the truth. I ain't saying we deserve it because we ain't shit. Right. But the Lord had mercy on us, apparently had mercy on us to let us get the truth, man. Because the truth ain't for everybody. The Lord selectively picked certain men to push this truth. And Dawadi Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and Yahweh Shai Retazat, that we are those men to push the truth. Because that's the job that we're doing right now. I have faith that we are, because who else is doing the work except the men of the Lord?
I'm going to get this. We can close with this. This is Titus chapter 3 verse 10. Titus 3 and 10. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. So after a couple tries and they don't get it, they're not meant to. And that's just something you need to swallow, whether it be sour, which it is sour, knowing that a lot of your people aren't going to get it. And that a lot of your people, not only are they not going to get it, but they're going to buck up against you and talk shit about you.
That's right. And
then look at you with an evil eye of hatred. Alright, but that's just a sour part of the truth that we have to swallow, whether you like it or not.
And there's consequences, there's sacrifices that us brothers that have to be made when it comes to this truth. A lot of sacrifices. We sacrificed a lot of things when we got into this truth, and I mean a lot. And there's going to be more than sacrifices to come later on. Alright? Alright? So we're going to get up out of here. We wanted to make a quick lesson, get to the whole point of it. Hoping and praying that this lesson was edifying. And before we get up out of here, we want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makak, double honor to the apostle and elders of GMS that's pushing this word day in and day out to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Keep pushing Yasharallah. We are almost out of here. The Waffle of a Ball, which is death to America.